Now, there are a lot of people out there freaking out that there's not going to be an alt season, that Ethereum's never going to pump to all-time highs again. This video is for you, especially at the end. But first, we're up about $8,000 from yesterday. I told everybody, I was constantly telling people, what are you doing? Freaking out, relax. I put out a newsletter or a market update on learningcrypto.com. Check us out. I'm very active there, and you get to see when I'm buying, when I'm selling, and you get to see our entire portfolio, and we've been doing very, very well. Okay, so moving on, we also have Tether is relocating to El Salvador, which is interesting considering that what is happening with MiCA regulations in Europe. It's going to be fascinating to see what they do, how they fight back against essentially BlackRock. Because, BlackRock owns USDC now through Coinbase. And yeah, there's going to be a big tug of war, I think, happening. But still, USDT still has the majority of volume, which is fantastic in my opinion. Yeah, El Salvador might be a freer place to do business other than the US and Europe. For those of you who were freaking out about Bitcoin and sold during when it hit, when it went down, 17%? 80% of US dollars were created over the past 5 years. Did you catch that? 80% of US dollars were created over the past 5 years. In my prior video that I made yesterday, I pretty much bashed anyone in this space that cares this much and more about the US dollar index being very high. A lot of people are freaking out when it's going higher, but you know what? It doesn't matter. As I've said before, yesterday we're still at about $100,000 right now, at $97,000, and the US dollar is at its over 2-year highs today. And so yeah, just start ignoring these people, because the reason why I say ignore these people or unfollow these people is just because there's so much to learn in this space that there's so many distractions from people that have no clue about how Bitcoin works, have no clue, that want to bring in the old world, which is caring about the US dollar index. Who freaking cares, man? Or interest rates, who cares? Bitcoin, by the way, rises during, we've had one of the best bull market in history with interest rates rising. Yep, you're not going to hear that from the crypto economists out there. Bunch of goofballs, man. But check out this graph. It's not lying. This is how much is being printed. Okay, going on to JP Morgan, who actually Jamie Dimon said yesterday or a couple of days ago that Bitcoin just pretty much is for crazy people. It's gamblers, like they do drug trades and stuff with Bitcoin. Don't mention US dollars. Please don't do that. Of course, these banks are all for fiat. They hate Bitcoin. You may think they like Bitcoin because they say maybe a good thing about Bitcoin here and a good thing about Bitcoin there. Guys, these guys are liars. The same as BlackRock, all a bunch of freaking liars, okay? But here we go. JP Morgan predicts Solana and XRP ETFs could attract $3 to $8 billion in new investments if approved, with SEC decisions expected by late January. So that would put a lot more upward pressure on alts for sure, especially with the Solana and XRP, which we're both in. I do expect those to actually skyrocket. If you look at XRP during that last dip, it's doing actually really well. I don't think it actually fell at all. So that's pretty impressive considering that Bitcoin went down about 17%. XRP, like hardly anything. Now let's move on to the most exciting part. At least it's most exciting for me, because you know what? I know alt season. Alt seasons happen every single bull cycle, okay? And they might not happen when you want them to happen. Like, you go on Twitter, you go on YouTube, when's ETH going up? When's alt season or whatever? It's gonna happen when it happens, okay? That's it. There's no point of guessing. Who cares? You buy during the bear market and then you sell during the bull market. That's how you make money in this space. It blows my mind. People are still wondering, when is alt season? But I digress. Let's go over to Gert Van Lagen on Twitter. ETH balances on exchanges have plummeted 67% since 2020 now hitting levels not seen since 2016. So look at this graph. Here you go. That is pretty darn bullish. And you know what? We all know whales are manipulating the price of Ethereum, and that's fine. People say, oh no, it's just being diluted because of other alts or whatever. No, like ETH has a ton of volume, first off, and the devs have been working like crazy. And also the main projects in the crypto space are being built on ETH. So yeah, guys, it's going to skyrocket. You just have to be very patient. I remember the last time we hit all-time highs, it was several years ago. Just remember that day going, oh my gosh, Bitcoin's at like $4,700. That was pretty wild. I do expect Ethereum to go much, much higher than $4,700. Actually, let me know what your thoughts are, what your price targets are on Ethereum. I can tell you mine is well above $5,000, $6,000. So yeah, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.